All right, guys. This is Base Muslim, aka Base Fula, aka the one you love to hate, um, aka Blue Hefner. Um, so this video was a long time coming, and the reason for this video was just to advise. Granted, we're all black, pretty much in this thing that we're doing. You know, we all have we all have similar, but I guess you can say somewhat different experiences in what we're dealing with in the Western world right now. And this video is specifically for continental Africans like myself, or whether you were born in Africa, whether you're a first generation immigrant, or whether you're a newly arrived um, immigrant from Africa. You're gonna have to get on the passport boy movement too. I'm gonna tell you why you have to get on the passport. I'm gonna let you hear why you have to get on the passport boy movement, especially if you are a Muslim African man. Now, some may say, well, these women come from traditional households, these women come from traditional African households. But the problem is that once the African Muslim woman who is brought up in this culture, I'm talking about the Western culture, all of that goes out the window. All of that all of the values, all of the things that are instilled in her go out the window. Especially, in Fulani culture, we have something called pulaku, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't found there's not one single Western woman here in America, I kid you not, who has pulaku or has an inch of pulaku left. I swear to God. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. They've been in, especially I can pull up a room right now on Clubhouse and let you hear the debauchery that you will hear from these women who are from Guinea Conakry. Another example is a woman from Sierra Leone. I'm not gonna broadcast her information, but she should know better than to have a kid out of wedlock. But what did she do? She had a kid out of wedlock, and this is in her family is a Muslim family. Yet she still took it upon herself to have a kid out of wedlock. Now she's a single mother, and her marriage prospects are adios amigo. I knew a Nigerian woman, and she thought she had a shot with me, but she definitely didn't have a shot with me because I already made it known that I'm a polygamous dude, and I just even straight out said, yeah, I don't mess with Evos. I just straight out said that, and I know it sounds a bit tribalistic. I know it sounds a bit tribalistic to say that, but Igbos are some of the most westernized Africans in America. Without giving too much detail, her body count was at like 70. By the time I was, by the time I, you know, talked to her and things like that, yeah, her body count was like at 70. So don't think that they haven't bought into the sauce. They have. They've bought into feminism. They bought into sexual liberation. They bought into all of that. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of them are finding it difficult now to be married or get married. Um, every single guy that I know, every single guy that I know here, whether he be from Ethiopia, whether he be from Senegal, whether he be from Mali, whether he be from Nigeria, wherever he was from, anybody who married a Keisha, a Karen, a Maria, or a westernized African woman ended in the same situation, having to rebuild their life, having to play the role of the single father, and having a bitter taste in their mouth because of the situation that they now face are now facing. So this is why and another reason why we must go back to get traditional women, be it they be in Africa or maybe perhaps in a different part of the world. I'm getting reports that many Africans are having good good success in Kuwait. As a matter of fact, there's this Kuwaiti guy that I know, and he's just really encouraging me to go to Kuwait, go to Kuwait, go to Kuwait. He, he says, he even says, I think, yeah, with you, you would fit a Kuwaiti woman pretty well. You would have a good success with a Kuwaiti woman. I know other people who have also followed that route. There is one who actually went to Bahrain. I know a Bahrain mixed Nigerian who decided that that was the route that they were going to take. Now, granted, he was out here. I met him out here, but he saw what was happening, and although he could have went back home and gotten his traditional woman, his work led him to Bahrain, and so that's where he married the Bahraini woman, and they have been married ever since, and everything is smooth, everything is cool, calm, and collected with him. Now, another reason why Africans who are here in America or in anywhere in the West must follow the passport bros is that you don't necessarily have to go to the countries that are the common countries. You don't necessarily have to go to Colombia. You don't necessarily have to go to Brazil. You don't necessarily have to go to the Dominican Republic. You can go to more conservative countries, which means your success at finding that traditional woman would even be much higher because chances are you guys are going to share a common faith. Depending on what part of the Muslim world you're in, you're going to share a common madahib, and also you are going to share a common goal, which is to be in peace with one another. Now, I'm not doing this just to kick this stuff, but I'm just trying to remind myself that I have to utilize these two books that I have in my hand. One of the books that I have in my hand, one is from the United States of America, as you see. The other one is from ECOWAS in West Africa, which is the passport of my country of origin. Now, another thing too that must be done, and this is why we must not marry here, is we must prevent the spread of what's going on here to reach back home. Now, granted, it already has started, but it's our job to keep it from spreading like wildfire, because if it spreads like wildfire, we will have more problems than we already have in Africa, and we don't need those problems, okay? As a matter of fact, I think it is our collective duty to keep Keisha, keep Karen from infiltrating Africa with their ideas. Because unfortunately, some of our brothers are so desperate for papers that they allow them to do so. And we should not let them do that. Okay? We have to hold the line. And that's just the bottom line. Okay? So, what I suggest is that you utilize not only one passport, but maybe utilize both of your passports. Now, if you're from a francophone country, you already have the advantage of speaking French. Okay? And as it stands right now, traditional North African women are going crazy for us in France. If you maybe have ended up in Germany and then came here, you have the benefit of already knowing German. You can go to different places where they speak German. If you have the advantage of maybe knowing just any European or Latin based language, you're already a step ahead of the pack. So you must do this, okay? Because every story I hear pertaining a Senegalese, a Nigerian, maybe a Kenyan, a Tanzanian, whatever the case may be, all of the stories end up the same or they end up much worse, as like we saw with the Nigerian when that Casper Karen decided to buck 50 him to death. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter about ethnic background. It transcends that. What I'm saying is it's that all of them do it. But I will say that Keisha is at the helm of it the most. Keisha is at the helm of it. The thing is, the soft girl era is nothing more than a honeymoon stage. Because some of these women like the idea of being with guys of a different culture until they find out what that culture entails. And what that culture entails is that a woman has to be submissive and she has to be basically obedient to her husband, which they are not going to be ready for. Do not fall for the chameleon trap in which they lay for you. Okay? They will try to lay the trap, but it's your job to navigate through that trap. Okay? A lot of brothers can't do it though. But I know a couple of brothers who have done it. I know one brother from Gambia. He married a black American woman. That ended in shambles, and he had to pick himself up. However, now he's married to an Afghan woman, and he's forgotten all about that black American woman. I know a Senegalese brother married to a black American. She made his life a living hell. Fast forward, he's now happily married in Senegal. I have many stories like this. As a matter of fact, let me let you hear what a modern Muslim woman had to say about us pertaining to men. Let me let you hear.
As a Muslim man, you should be a protector, a provider. As a Muslim man, you should be a protector, a provider, and a reliable person a woman could sleep safely beside. Correct? Correct. Nowadays, men want women to pay 50-50. Let's say the bills are expensive. Okay, we'll do it. And a man wants a woman to cook and clean because they think that's what is required of a woman. Let's say I agree. And a woman is required to take care of the household and the kids, right? Let's say I agree. If a woman does all of this, can I ask you something like real? So you're not a provider, nor are you a protector no more. Yet you want her to accept that terms. Why? Why would any woman want to get married under those circumstances and terms? Give me a good logical explanation and a reliable.
So as you hear her, and granted, she doesn't have a hijab on either, you know. Granted, she's not wearing a hijab. She's not wearing anything like that, and she's calling herself a counselor and a coach, and she's like needs someone to talk to and stuff like that. Hell, if she was the last person on earth, I wouldn't talk to her, because here's the thing. Okay, that I want to tell you. Um, here's the thing that I want to tell you about. Okay. Muslim men, traditional Muslim men who follow the Kitab and the Sunnah, and for the most part, traditional African men, don't mind providing for the household, be it 100% provide. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to provide for the household and she has a problem doing those things, because you can already tell by how she speaks that she will have a problem cooking, she will have a problem cleaning, she will have a problem doing that stuff. Okay? You can already tell by how she's talking. I can pull up another video from her just to show you how delusional these Western women are.
As a Muslim man, you should be a protector.
Let me try to find it.
As a Muslim man, you should be a protector.
Hold on, just give me a second.
It is not your partner's job to make you happy.
Okay, let me see. And mind you, she's single. She's single. She's single. And she's also saying she's also using words like manifestation and things like that too.
3 reasons why it's better to marry a divorced woman than to marry a woman that didn't actually get married before. Number 1, she has real and high expectations, but real ones. Because a woman that never got married before might actually live in a fairy tale a little bit and might have expectations that are not possible. But a divorced woman already knows what to expect. Number 2, she actually has experience in having her own household and maintaining it. Number 3, she actually emotionally understands a man better now, and she emotionally understands herself more, and she knows what she wants and what exactly she doesn't want and what she won't.
Okay, that's enough of that bullshit. Now, she left out the hypergamy. She left out possibly the rooster carousel. She also left out the kids that came with the divorce. She also left out the bitterness and the baggage that she carries for the new guy based on the experience with the old husband. So, brothers who are African, I'm speaking to you and I'm appealing to you to use your passport. We have to get on board with the Passport Brothers movement. Okay? If there is going to be something that is going to be done in order to not only preserve our traditional values, but also perhaps pave the way for the generation to come before us, after us, to restore traditional values that the hynocracy, the gynocracy, is trying to break apart in many different shapes and forms. And as a closing note, I'm appealing, and I don't think he's going to hear this video. I really don't think he's going to hear it. But I appeal to Ime Udoka to exercise his options back home in Nigeria and find that traditional woman and possibly build a place, a safe haven for her. And if you want to practice polygamy, which is within your rights to do so, then go ahead and do it. It's within your rights to do it. This is my message, okay? And I'm just going to stick with this message. I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to leave it at this. I have officially checked out, like maybe years ago, of messing or trying to entertain Western women, no matter where their background lies. And I recently decided to check out dealing with Muslim Western women, because they are the same way, regardless of what their background is, okay? You heard her, Western Muslim woman, non-hijabi, makeup, filters, and what have you. I hope my Africans, especially my African Muslims, take heed to the message that I'm giving you. Use your passports, and also use the fact that you are an African, and by default, you are a global citizen because you probably have family in the hot spots where there are submissive, feminine, and decent women. Because it's definitely not to be found in the West. That's my message. You can take it. And as Jay-Z once said, this is food for thought. You can do the dishes. Base Fula signing out. Unjarama.